Welcome back to the continuation of this series. For those of you that have been with us for race one, we're back very quickly with game two, and I'm joined on commentary this time by Zeb316. How's it going?
Going pretty good. It was a pretty exciting race one until it kind of Nitro got kind of shambled. So we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, there's some parts of that seed, especially that shows kind of the power of being able to both break the logic and also like do really tough things. Because like we were a little bit, if Nitro both commits to the East Meridia play earlier and does it well, it's like it's a neck and neck battle. Potentially he's even ahead in that scenario. But yeah, Audra actually. I think the only illogical thing they ever did was finding Varia that early, which
Yeah,
was
I
obviously
agree.
really big. But everything else was, by the book as far as what the seed wanted.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I think most people in that situation would go back across criteria because if you get into hell runs on 2 E-tanks, and let's say that instead of Varia there, it was like Space Jump as the first item at speed, then you're kind of in trouble. But it worked out, so we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, we get a bomb start. That is one of the things that honestly, like, I like bombs early. The earliest you probably actually want them is Terminator because it's after you would have to fight BT for having them.
Yeah, I don't
But
mind having it this early though either, because if you're fighting BT and someone else is fighting BT, then you're not really losing that time.
yeah.
It is more annoying though if you end up going through meme route and then like coming back, Bomb Chorizo's already a check that isn't that great because it's a criteria check.
Yeah.
Plus you have to fight Bomb Chorizo then, so
Yeah. So, pretty standard start here. Question in the chat about the little map here in the middle of your screen. This is what we call an area randomizer, which basically means that all the words that are on there are telling you like the name of the quote-unquote area that you're in. And when you get to certain doors within those areas, you're going to be transported out of that, and you're not going to necessarily go where you would expect to go. So things like this door to the left of Morphball that we're not going to see because it's power bomb locked, that won't necessarily take you to Green Brinstar. It could take you basically anywhere. So once we start finding those things, you'll get some lines on the screen, and it'll be great until it's not, and then it'll look like a spider web of chaos.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read, but it is good if you like want to know a specific portal. You can normally make out what it is. So
yeah. Shout out to the SG volunteers, organizers, head honchos for creating that. Both on very short notice and just like getting something that is, I mean, it's readable. It's definitely difficult and an acquired skill, but especially if you're someone who like uses this when you race as a person, like that definitely helps. But I'm someone who prefers text trackers, and I can usually still get by. So definitely a visual aid that can be very helpful. And when we're talking about things
for sure.
like in-game routing, you might be able to trace along.
It also helps if you come in halfway through. Just like gives you kind of a synopsis of where the portals go, if nothing else. So
yeah, so we've checked 3 miners, we've gotten 3 missiles, so we're in here at 230 without supers or power bombs, and we get one of them.
There's a super.
That's nice.
Without that super, I think that it gets kind of interesting whether you want to do Bomb Gauntlet at that point, because I think that Bomb Gauntlet is normally something that I really dislike. But with only missiles, you don't know those 2 portals on the left are followable. It's possible that like the logic could be 2 E-tanks here at Bomb Chorizo and Terminator, and then supers at Gauntlet. So
yeah.
Or even power bombs to let you get to meme route portal.
Or power bombs to get supers in a power bomb lock spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an E-tank. Probably that's... If you weren't getting an E-tank, I think the only other thing you would have rather had is like exactly screw attack. Because that would have sped up the gauntlet check that you more than likely do at that point by a lot.
Yeah.
But E-tank is nice.
Yeah, now I don't think that you do Bomb Gauntlet here. You've already got supers. It's less... Like the miners in the back are less important now. I do like
That
me a
was,
gauntlet in these settings, but I like a 10 PB gauntlet, not a bomb gauntlet.
I would not have been surprised if Audra did make the choice to do Gauntlet, but isn't going to happen. Nitro doing the same. We're just going over left. And yeah, like Zeb said, it's not the fastest thing anyone's ever invented going through Gauntlet with just bombs. Power bombs just are a lot faster. And so, like I said, what Screw Attack has been. So, but we
It is
do
in
get
Logic now.
the two
so.
tanks. Yeah. Let's see what happens over here. And yeah, the other things that
There's
was
still
alluding to.
one more portal in Logic, if these are bad, but that one... that could kind of be bad, depending on what the top portal is, too, because we can't get down Red Tower here. You need a power bomb to break the power bomb door, so...
Yeah, it looked like Audra was deciding if they wanted to do, like, you know, potentially, like, alpha peeves and then, you know, the elevator check and then come back and do this, or do this first and then do that in the other order.
Yeah.
Looks like this is probably going to be something that works out.
I do
because
think that you
it's not
want
really a
to
map.
check alpha power bombs here before going up the elevator, in case the elevator is something like Green Bryn that you want to follow into.
Yeah.
Or even something like an Upper Norther that you might want to follow into. You just don't want to get too far away from this spot. Like, if it's a portal you'll follow, you don't want to, like, abandon this potential power bomb spot. Also, it could be, like... It's not a power bomb. But it could have been a power bomb to, like, get you down Red Tower, too.
Yeah.
So far, a pretty linear seed. There was the option of doing Bomb Gauntlet, otherwise not really any decisions yet.
Yeah, the kind of the potential of Bomb Gauntlet having power bombs kind of determines how linear it actually is. But yeah, as far as, you know, most of the time, I'm gonna say this is pretty much what you probably have to do. See if this elevator is something that they want to do. Otherwise, we're turning around and probably wishing we had done Gauntlet.
Oh, I think you want that miner. Yeah, Nitro wants it.
That you probably want that miner.
Oh, Nitro was going. That's the power bomb nip setup, but oh,
Not
it is a power bomb.
drops.
Okay.
That is it's very
Nitro
good that
didn't-
Nitro turned around
so,
for that. I don't think he looked at the
Nitro
Kago
take a
door.
hit.
Yeah.
Okay, now Nitro did. But not taking a hit would have been really nice because you kind of want like 299 for extra D boost. So you can get there and back really fast. So Nitro wouldn't have had to farm if he didn't take a hit there, but both runners took one hit. We'll see. I think that Audra doesn't do extra D boost. Nitro definitely does, so this could be pretty big, going down Red Tower. I think that if we find a portal at the middle of Red Tower that they want to follow, Nitro probably won't extra D boost. But
Well, he just saved, so I think he is.
yeah, he's planning on it. So those plans could change, though. Is basically if the portal is like well, it's not.
Not
so,
back of Lower Norfair.
Yep. If it were Green Bryn specifically, I think, or Business Center, then I think he would have done that first. I think that I would have farmed Hellway there. I think that probably the best place you can farm in here.
He's going to lose some amount of health here as well, unbeknownst to himself, obviously. But 11. So yeah. If we select power bombs, yeah, we're going to be seeing X-ray here.
So it
And,
looks like
we're going to be seeing
not
Gravity and
farming-
Spazer.
Ooh. So it's kind of funny. I actually think that when you find Gravity matters significantly less than when you find Varia in these seeds. Gravity is the suit that's like stronger in these seeds, but Varia saves you so much time throughout the game that finding Varia early on your opponent is way bigger of a deal than finding Gravity. Gravity is more just like required to beat the game. And
Just good knee tank.
Yeah, Gravity is good, but it just doesn't really speed you up in the same way Varia does.
Yeah, kind of the biggest thing is that, like, the items that are locked behind Gravity are, like, much more locked behind Gravity. Like, obviously, 2 of them can be in Logic suitless, but, like, past that, things are, like, really slow. It's, like, the things that are, you know, Varia locked well, logically they're only in Lower Norfair, but like the Upper Norfair stuff that can be hull runnable is significantly slower when you're taking damage all the time and you have to do things like refill health consistently. But we found West Meridia and Turian here at the bottom of Red Bryn so far, and yeah, Nitro's gonna have an E-Tank up. We'll see how much that matters.
And there's Green Bryn. So with gravity, that is the situation where you want to be an E-Tank up. Like if that were Varia, that E-Tank wouldn't be worth much. But that being said, with Green Bryn here, it's likely worth a bit less than otherwise would be. You're just getting a bunch more items here, so.
Yeah. And yeah, obviously it was early, and also we'd been in places where miners were either not plentiful or also locked behind a lot of stuff, and we couldn't get too many. So, like, you know, you're gonna get your miners up here as well as potentially some pretty good items.
Ooh, and there's a Kraid's lair. This is really interesting on whether you want to do it now or wait. It's really frustrating when you're in like a soft go mode like this to go to the boss only to find a Ridley that you can't kill. Because you really don't want to lose too much time, but at the same time, that Ridley is actually really important information if it's here. It means that you're way more likely to be able to do a suitless LN play if Ridley is here, and like you're able to prepare for it better. It also it kind of is awkward though, because like you've got Green Bryn right there. You do Green Bryn and you come back and you're very likely to be able to kill any boss. But you have to like go all the way back through Green Bryn to get back here. This isn't like a fantastic Kraid spot. So
yeah. If you had entered Green Bryn from like the other side, obviously it would be way less inconvenient, but yeah. This is it's our first boss check. It's killable because it's left to right. And yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty frequent I see in these things that, you know, especially like the first boss area people come upon, they just kind of are like, eh. I guess first boss area I want to specifically say Rick Ship and Kraid's Lair, because especially if Lower Norfair is the first one you find, you're very unlikely to have various. So, you know, people skip this a decent amount, and it can be good and it can be costly. And here
it really depends on like the situation a lot, like whether you want to skip a boss or not. If the boss is in a really isolated spot, you're really incentivized to do it. Because, yeah, I don't mind Nitro skipping this. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns around. Ah, man, you kind of have to go all the way to the reserve at this point. Because you're unlikely to get stuff to kill Ridley just in this area.
Supers could get there. Obviously, that extra E-Tank is good, but like it's like the thing about it is like if it's Ridley and you want to be able to like go through and then come back and kill it, you kind of need to find mostly E-Tanks, and that's honestly maybe not what you wanted. Obviously, the other option is Varia, but who knows? I mean, yes, this could be big already.
Yeah, so this is important for like two reasons. First of all, the clear, obvious like routing reason. Nitro's gonna have to go back there at some point. Gonna get it less efficiently than Audra just got it. The other thing is that Nitro will be missing out on potential wreck ship items, which actually not necessarily a bad thing for Nitro if those items are bad. Because wreck ship items are some of the slower items in the game. But if it's something good, that could be very costly for Nitro.
Wreck ship was the answer last seed. Nitro skipped it and would have been able to complete the game had things gone a little better his way. But I think I'm one of the people who kind of likes to meme about the various site PRNG. So, you know, who knows what'll happen to seed. Like you said, it could just be like, you know, Vader does have to be killed to beat the game in the settings we play. So he's gonna be at one of the places, and he is gonna turn on the ship no matter what. So we'll see how things shake out. But yeah, for the time being, decent advantage for Audra that could potentially, you know, go awry, but we won't know for probably a while.
Yeah. I think that the worst case scenario for Nitro is that like the top of this portal is wreck ship. I think that So I guess looking at the map, Kraid's Lair isn't that. Okay, I think I see it. So Kraid's Lair is right next to Torian in the seed.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So what Nitro I think is thinking is he's going to finish. Oh no, Nitro. I mean
Battle peeps.
that's possible intentional. So the reason it could be intentional, maybe Nitro's really wanting to go back to that Kraid's Lair and really wants 30 supers for that. I think that's unlikely. I think this is an accident, but and it is a super, so that could be something that he was thinking about.
It also looks like the Kraid's Lair minor was a super because now they're even, and obviously Andre doesn't have that and is unlikely to get it. So yeah, supers were definitely the thing that you wanted to find there.
But yeah, I think that because of Kraid's being pretty close to Torian, like this will route worse for Nitro, but not that much worse as long as Rekship doesn't have items that he wants or needs.
And there's also the
there's
potential of like, you know, I mean, you were talking about like if Rekship's up here, that's maybe pretty punishing for Nitro. But like on the other hand, if it was like a Rekship with a Kraid and then you just go back, it could actually end
that
up
is
pretty
true.
good. But you do have gravity to keep going through, so it's not a scenario where like you're forced to turn around or anything. But we'll see what happens. We have another early charge seed. Nitro didn't quite get the charge early, but last seed, but we knew about it early. And here, yeah, early charge. I've come to reason that in these settings, Varia increases the value of charge beam by quite a bit because
yeah, I think that I agree.
About...
Well, I actually feel like it's not so much the Varia. How do I put it even? Like I basically agree, but I almost feel like it's the opposite. Kind of. I don't know. Like I feel like charge is awkward when you don't have area, basically, because of like what you were saying. With you want to pick up stuff for Suicide LN play still without area, but like it's really awkward to like be checking stuff with charge because you're potentially just wasting time. So yeah. Yeah, this is a kind of strange save for Nitro. This is potentially what portals you would want to reset the front of Lorne Orfair. You would maybe want to be able to reset back to that for Rekship. Ooh, it's Croc. Okay. That's kind of an interesting save here, but I don't think that you reset any 2 items out of Croc. I think you just do this. Oh, this is really good for Nitro. Wow.
Yeah, the lack of killing the Kraid boss has no longer matters.
Yep.
So,
Oh, and Audra leaving it. Wow, okay. So this makes some sense. I think I would at least do the first item here. I think that leaving the second item makes sense. First time's not that slow though.
It's also like, you know, I mean, we were talking about how Kraid was pretty close to turning, but now with 2 that is in here, this is about as isolated as a Croc can get, right? Like, you leave this.
I mean, the thing is, when you have gravity, you don't need any item here. You're fine beating the game without any singular item, and that's kind of the idea here. Which is why I think that it makes some sense for Otter to skip this. Like I don't mind the skip, honestly. I think that it's fine.
Yeah, obviously the health isn't like super great right now, but there's, you know, plenty of game left, and obviously with gravity, you know, the slow Meridia checks aren't nearly as slow. So we have I think actually, yeah, and the next thing we're doing is actually Mama Turtle, more than likely. You have bombs and gravity, or bombs and grapple. That's what I was trying to say, to be able to get the item. Speaking of grapple.
Nitro is more incentivized to do this as well. Okay, and there's Nitro's 30 is super. So now Nitro thinks if Ridley's at Kraid, he can do it. Nitro was really incentivized to do this because Nitro still didn't have his 30th super. And really wanted that for like when he went back to Kraid here. He really wanted to be able to kill Ridley.
So we have a save here at pre-Aqueduct. Like I said, I think probably we're doing on a turtle. We are going to look at a portal first.
I don't mind going to the portal first. You don't have any other West Meridian portals, so it's unlikely you're going to follow this. You've already also found Green Bryn, Red Bryn. You're not like following into an Upper Norfair here, I don't think.
Double R.
Double reserves. Yeah, that's
Max
not a great proc.
Like even like 1E1R was probably about 40-50% better, just because like I think is that the third reserve tank even? Because yeah, I mean Audra has one and doesn't have those two, so yeah. And I was just gonna say I was thinking maybe you could think about Beach and Watering Hole there as well.
So you could reset if you're Nitro.
I guess
I don't like it
but...
because I think you want those reserves. I don't like this check though for Nitro. You've already got charge. I wonder if Nitro forgot.
What's the third power bomb? That's my guess.
Oh, and Audra finding Wreck Ship and going into it. I think this makes some sense with Wreck Ship on already. So this way you get the E-Tank on the way. Audra can't kill a Ridley, though.
You would have to get like lots of good stuff here to be able to do that, or exactly very obviously. But yeah, this is I say it all the time, and it just keeps being true. Like Wreck Ship is where Ridley is. This is his new home. So it feels way more likely that it actually is, obviously. But we'll see.
If this is Ridley here, this is really bad for Audra, unless like there's specifically variant. Even then, well, like then is obviously good, but you're
still
really
not gonna be that
still
fast.
Slow. Yeah.
Yeah. We're on charge, no beams. And only 15 current supers. So yeah. So far it looks like more than likely the plays that Audra has made are gonna end up being better for the seed. We'll see how impactful 2 extra reserves are.
I don't necessarily know. Like yeah, the Croc play obviously like is good for Audra. But with this play specifically, I'm not sure. Like
oh yeah, who knows?
Because if this is Ridley here, I just think this is. I guess it'll depend on the front portal too. If the front portal is also bad, I guess you are getting some items though. It's just really annoying though if you have to like come back for this boss later.
And it's it's 2 out of 3 that you're perfectly fine here. Dragon or Kraid would be no sweat off your back. Kraid maybe just a little bit of sweat just because that Kraid closet item is going to be in the back of your mind for a while. It's charge wave again because
yep. So with charge, any beam is really good, wave beam included. So
oh goodness, you know what? I'm looking at my tracker, and obviously I could have looked straight in front of me at the one that's in the middle of our screen. We haven't seen Upper Norfair yet, and like that's like all of our outstanding portals. They're like all connect there basically. There's like very few that don't, because look, there's 5 there, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 7 elsewhere. This is an interesting one. So yeah, like almost every single time that is gonna be a this connection at the front's gonna be to Norfair.
Yep, and that was Ridley. You could see it because it didn't fade to black, and we already seen the other screen that scrolls.
So yeah, Ridley there. We found.
Oh. So Audra did reset an E-Tank and wave.
Probably
that wave
pick
beam
that wave up.
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Audra is up on knowledge too on Nitro. Those 2 reserves could be kind of big, but I think that Audra is pretty ahead here still.
Yeah, we will have to see. And yeah, the reset, it makes a lot of sense because more than likely, the one attic item that you can actually get is far away. Like I said, especially if their portal tracking is good, like you're probably getting into Upper Norfair regardless of which of these routes you take. So
also,
could be a little bit better depending on which side of stuff. But yeah, go ahead.
Where did Nitro get his extra E-Tank?
X-ray.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Just forgot about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if Audra ever goes back for that.
For X-ray?
Grapple.
How far away is it? Well, it's probably right. I mean, it's right next to the back of Lower Norfair. And of course, we don't end up in Upper Norfair, as I was talking about how
So
likely
this
it was.
is... yeah, I kind of like backing out of this. I think that this is a good play from Audra here.
I wouldn't have
It's...
minded like left super. If you get an item, you go. If you don't, you just leave out of Aqueduct. I think that's probably what I would have done. Because we know where map station goes.
You mean
It's
left sandpit?
criteria. Yeah,
Yeah.
like go in there, go through. Obviously,
It's
it's kind
just
of a
so
double loop.
slow to like go through the back.
I mean, I agree, but
And
the other option
you
is
also
running across
don't...
criteria.
Yeah, you also don't have a way through Baboon, and you don't have 15 power bombs for your bombs. Like,
I mean, I was intending on like not doing that at the time and like getting the item and leaving, but like when your other option is like coming
I mean,
across criteria, and
I think
again,
I
you're
probably would have
probably
gone
coming into
into...
Norfair.
I think I might have gotten into Red Tower there as Audra and gone back to X-Ray, but like, I think it's totally fine not to too. Like, you skip Crocs or you're skipping long checks. It's just, I'm a little worried about getting spit into Upper Norfair. This energy is not fantastic for that. You're going to be farming a good amount unless you find, like, specifically E-Tanks or Varia in the first couple of spots you find.
Yeah. So we are getting a full refill here at the ship, so it'll be 3+1.
One interesting thing, Nitro has a lot more ammo. We'll be able to kill Ridley and Wreckship if he decides to follow that.
Oh, they both couldn't quite grapple across on the first try like they wanted to. Almost had a click back up. But yeah, we're gonna see these right side criteria portals. And
once you fall, I think I would have just gone to Mama Turtle, and then
that is a
to
nice third power bomb. As we're even more likely to end up in Upper Norfair than we were when I said it a minute ago.
Yeah, that third power bomb is really, really nice for Upper Norfair. Yep, you definitely want to check the other portal first. And yep, Nitro also following this. And I think that this actually does make more sense from Nitro, because Nitro can kill all 4 bosses.
And yeah. Another.
I wonder if it's almost... Okay, this makes sense, I was thinking if you're going to Bubble Mountain, I think I might have backed out of that to go to Single Chamber. But I think it makes sense to check the other portal instead.
Yeah, and then get the health refill, and then... I mean, you could go to the cool side. That's a little bit risky, just because getting back to the hot side would be long and potentially slow if you don't find speed or Varia, but more options again. And yeah, Nitro probably, well, unlike Audra, actually didn't missile that door, so a little bit less conservative on the supers.
Yeah, I think that's fine, though, because Nitro has 35 supers.
Yeah.
If you only had 30, you kind of want to missile that door, but... Okay, and now that you're here, I think I like checking left sandpit. It's way faster than doing it from the back, and there's no potential, like, worst-case scenario of front of East Meridia being front of Lower Norfair anymore.
Yeah. Also, the other thing that's worked out better about this compared to my route is that you found both of the other hot portals from the cool side, so you didn't have to hard run to them. So that's always a plus. So what's here? It's just E, but that's, I mean, you're in Norfair essentially, so that's good. Especially because, you know, Audra knows about an E-Tank in Wreckship that they had and decided not to keep. And
also,
super.
Worth noting, Nitro did take a, I believe, Kazan hit. Big damage when you're...
Yeah, after the E-Tank, oof. I didn't even say it because I wasn't thinking about it, but it's also just kind of like, you know, whatever. But like, Shack Tool is open, maybe, and yeah, we have high jump and gravity. Like, that's a logical check right now.
I think it's kind of interesting because I think that Nitro has played this way more thoroughly than Audra, and that could end up paying off just because of like a bit more E than Nitro has. Interesting. I think that Audra has said that she's not that they're not that confident in their suitless or in their bomb CF clip. So I think it kind of makes sense that they didn't go for it there, but I think that it's if you can do it, if you're confident in it, I like doing it there. So.
And we are going to the cool side of Upper Norfair first. More supers, that's always nice. And yeah, Nitro has a chance to you know, get this wreck ship play pretty much done. Obviously, Attic will still be outstanding after this boss is killed. Unless you get exactly speed. Honestly, even still, if you get
Yeah, I
exactly
don't think
speed,
you
like
do.
you're not that incentivized to do Attic because the speed's not gonna lock Varia.
I almost wonder if Nitro's better off needing to go back to get that high jump. High jump's just like a really, really nice item when you're trying to do Suicide LN. Just like, especially if you don't have any like plasma or screw attack. Okay.
He's actually, if he goes through, he's actually really far away from it because somehow
It-
Main
it's-
Street wasn't Norfair.
It might not be that big of a deal. It might be fine, but it could be like really nice to have that high jump. So
Yeah. And because of the current health, we did see high jump before ice. Definitely could have made the hell run work out, and then you know gotten the classic high jump refill from the ice hell run. But that didn't happen.
yeah, and it depends
so
on
we'll
what you
see.
want to do here.
Yeah.
Audra might be thinking that they want to go to the top portals next.
I mean, well, where they go is is wreck ship and Upper Norfair and Lower Norfair, and I think they know that.
Yeah, and I think that maybe they want to do the wreck ship next. Like,
yeah, do definitely have the supers for Ridley now.
although at the same time, you kind of you kind of want to get that refill anyway if you're going into wreck ship.
Yeah. So we will see, and again, like.
So I think that this route kind of works better for Nitro, except
high jump.
He's missing the high jump. Yep.
And like, our logical checks for Varia are, I mean, Spring Ball is one of them, Gravity is one of them, and then the other ones are all in Bubble Mountain. So,
I mean, we could have like,
Speed. Oh yeah, we
Raygun.
don't have Gauntlet information right from either of them, so Speed or Ice could be there.
Or Speed or Ice could be in like Bubble Mountain or wherever else.
Yeah.
Where was that third Power Bomb pack for Roger again?
It was on Moat.
Oh, it was on Moat. Yep. Yeah, that could be really big. I wonder if we see Nitro check Cathedral Miner on the way through.
With Gravity, not nearly as bad.
I kind of like it. I think you really, really, really want a third Power Bomb here.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of whether or not, you know, the Crystal Flash clip thing that we said was an option that Audra didn't do. Being able to Crystal Flash while Hell Running is also really good.
So if you find Varia afterwards, you still want the Power Bomb to do CF clip, and you can find like Speed or Ice afterwards, then you still want the Power Bomb to be able to skip Varia. So either way, you still want like one more Power Bomb pretty badly.
Yeah. This will also be able to clean up the Wave Beam pickup that Audra knows about, so...
So this is a tougher fight for Audra. 582 plus 1 isn't completely free. It's not too bad. It's just not completely free, basically.
And
with
that
high
was the
jump,
disadvantage.
It's
the
a lot
advantage, yeah, the advantage is high jump.
Yep. It's not good though.
Yeah, Ridley not giving them friendliest patterns right now and taking a hit.
But
I don't know if those fireballs deal as much damage as Ridley hits.
No, they do less. They are like 15, I want to say.
So it should be like 2 more, I think, because I think we missed one.
Oh
no!
Nope. You're. Oh wow! I thought you were right for a second, and now I just miscounted. But
that was close. And yeah, this is an E-Tank. I don't think they're gonna look at it. I think they're just gonna get out.
No, I think you do look at it. You get enough energy that you can and get out.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be clutch. So yeah,
that E-Tank is really important. Specifically because I think the Audra is going into Upper Norfair next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're doing the hell run right now from the front. That seems a little odd, but it's possible. Um, again, like the biggest thing for me that I'm looking at is like 15 power bombs currently. Like,
Oh, and Nitro didn't check the other portal. So this is a time loss for Nitro. Extra
yeah,
2 elevator trips. This
yeah,
is
that's what I
kind
was
of
gonna
like
say.
the reason
Oh,
that I don't
Audra,
like
you want
skipping
that
this portal.
wave beam?
Oh,
You wanted that
yeah.
wave.
Hmm.
At some point, they're
Do
gonna
you?
realize that and
Do you?
like not go back. But
You know, I'm not sure. You're at 40-50 ammo.
mm,
You've got like 15 more supers, and you never need to use a beam shot against Mother Brain. Oh, but you don't have a Zeb skip. That does change things. Hmm.
so our runners are like almost tied. The difference is, like I said earlier, so like if Varia isn't here, Nitro is probably hell running to like the other three portals, and that's a
Yeah,
significant time save potentially for
I think
Audra.
Audra is ahead. So the difference is that like Nitro has better LN preparation minus that one power bomb.
Yeah, which currently is absolute. I mean, it's completely necessary to have at least one more. And if
Hmm.
there's another one, that's also going to tip a little bit in Audra's favor, just because like 15 with bombs is like way, way, way better than 15 without bombs. But it's still like, we don't have screw, we don't have plasma, stuff like that. It's by no means. I mean, yeah, because it's what that's 8 plus 3 versus 7 plus 1. That's a big difference.
So Nitro isn't going to these items. This is interesting. I wouldn't mind this actually if Nitro had one more power bomb, because then you could say Nitro's in go mode.
Yeah.
Okay, an E tank.
First item E, yeah, and I mean, he could. Well, there's the other thing that works out is Crystal Flash could appear. This is the first portal he's checking it. It is East Meridia, so Varia could pop on the other side of this as well.
Got man, this is so unfortunate for Nitro because he's missing
Oh, wait, not
the
Crystal
third
Flash
power
could be.
bomb.
Yeah, gosh, it's so strange in this tournament thus far that we've seen runners not have a third power bomb this far in. All right, doing right side Bubble Mountain.
With
Um,
high jump, yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty tough. I think it's tougher with. I might have tried to farm power bombs there as Nitro still, and I think he realized he kind of wants them.
Yeah. E and Super probably gonna get both of those. Oh, fell. Not what you wanted. Yeah.
I think you
I
wanted
think.
that E.
Yeah.
You don't need the super anymore. You've already killed Ridley. You've got Wave Beam. Like it's good to get that super, but if you run to another beam, then it's time loss.
Yeah.
And like it's not a fast super, so. Screw attack. That's a big item.
Yeah.
Audra has a big movement advantage on Nitro right now.
Yeah. Especially, I forgot that. I said it and then I forgot about it. But that high jump it keeps getting further away. Like that's very much not insignificant. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the screw attack, that's a big find if we don't
That
find
skill
Vario.
is too low.
Yeah. Metro trying again to find this last power bomb, which like it's coming back to what you said. Like this makes more sense if you could Crystal Flash clip currently, and you can't
Yeah.
because it's likely that either you are going to get another power bomb over here, which we haven't actually seen, or you potentially get logical access to Baltoon Hallway. But
And so
we're
this is.
going down here as far as stuff. Like I said, I mean like
Mm-hmm.
Jack Tool's getting more appetizing.
I mean, I don't think it's technically in logic yet. Oh no, it is because we have high jump.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, no power bombs. I wonder if we
And
see
yeah,
Nitro go at the back.
and like you were talking about with the potential, not being that comfortable with Crystal Flash Clip here on Audra's side, if this isn't Speed Ice or Varia, what are we doing from here?
At that point, it's Gauntlet or Shack Tool.
Yeah. Or, I mean, or Gravity, heaven forbid.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think you just do it. I know that Audra can do it. They just don't like to. So,
We're
but
not
it's
gonna find
speed.
out. So I think some of that grimace is probably that if they had done portals in a different way and like, you know, like say you come to single chamber second or whatever, you probably just kind of get this then and everything would have been better. And then like you find the East Meridia portal and you just kind of do it. So definitely not like the greatest, you know, sequencing for how these checks have turned out, but speed was a good find for sure.
Mm-hmm.
East Meridia is
Yeah, and
certainly
I
our
think that
next
at this
advantage.
point, Nitro having been more thorough, this isn't a seed where you go into Suicellen early. So if it is, the Nitro being thorough could have been huge. Because getting a little bit more extra energy in a seed that wants you to do LN early can be really big. This is a seed where you want to just collect everything. And you want to like find everything. And in these kinds of seeds, finding a couple of extra E-tanks almost doesn't matter. Especially because Ridley isn't vanilla. So Audra will just like have just as easy of a Lore and Warfare as Nitro did. Maybe even easier because of the movement items that she got.
Yeah, Nitro does end up finding that last power bomb. It looks like I think honestly he's going back to East Meridia with that instead of continuing into Upper Norfair. But actually I was wrong again, and maybe we're doing Gauntlet. Honestly,
That could be. Looks like it.
so yeah.
Oh, might just be taking a ship refill.
Potentially, was only at 10, but there's places to farm power bombs in East Meridia, but they're like down sand pits. The good ones, the best ones at least. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's Gauntlet. And honestly, like, obviously we know
I
it's
think
not speed,
actually
but if
it's
it's
probably
ice.
yeah, I think this makes sense for Nitro.
We're
Yeah, and you
getting,
can see Audra already has 9+1 in terms of ammo.
I think, pretty comfortable calling this go mode on that side already.
Yep.
I think we're probably checking this
Need
boss
to
level
find
regardless.
need to
But
find a place to farm power bombs
yeah,
before going into LN, but like one Crystal Flash I think is enough.
especially if you get E-Tank and Fire Flea, which
Yeah,
is
or behind Raygun. Or like
yeah,
I guess
whichever boss
you
it
don't
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
whichever boss. What is Nitro? Oh, Nitro's going
Like
to
I
East
said, going
Meridia.
back to East Meridia.
Yep.
So
Makes sense that he's damaging down then.
yeah, so more than likely that means they'll be missing both high jump and speed, which not the greatest thing in this race situation, but can't do
And
that again.
Screw.
That high jump, it just keeps getting further and further away.
I think the Screw is almost as well. Speed is bigger, but Screw is really important too.
Yeah, Audra with charge in ammo go mode because, of course, and yeah, Nitro with the issues he had damaging down last seed, he's like, I'm damaging down much more safer this time. And shoutouts to Area Rando, you even save a power bomb here.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of nice to be able to save a power bomb there sometimes when you're doing this. You don't really expect to miss it 5 times with bombs, but it does happen sometimes. So getting that fifth attempt is nice.
And we did see a speed kill. One of those sparks was definitely a little lower than you usually like, but no issues here. I was thinking maybe grapple was the thing that could come into play, but
And Nitro
first
gets the
try.
second try. Second try.
Oh, second try. Just looking at the other side of the screen. So yeah, definitely need to get that quickly. And
There is
very
very.
pops.
Yep. It was pretty likely to be there. There were still a couple other spots, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously, like speed outstanding still unlocks 2 checks, and then there was, Plasma Shack Tool are both open now, as well as the Vanilla Gravity Suit location. But yep,
yeah, I
this
think the
is
night the Audra is just like very ahead. Obviously now, like I think the Nitro really needed Very not to be there to like create some potential for weird things to happen.
Yeah.
with Varia being there, it's just like very, very straightforward from here on out.
Yeah, and I don't know if the difference between them is very large at all, but I do think in general the movement advantage was tipping a little bit in Audra's favor, and
Yeah.
obviously both of the good movement items tips that like scale
Yep.
way, way, way further. So
I mean, Audra also like we saw that Nitro's route kind of worked out for him, but because he didn't have the portal knowledge, he like ended up losing a bunch of time not going into that bubble mountain instantly.
yeah,
Like
as
if
well
Nitro goes
as
in that bubble mountain, he's still not ahead. But he is in a much better situation, finding that speed and then doing the East Meridian instead of finding East Meridian, then like spending a bunch of time looking for a power bomb there, and not getting in, then having to back out and then like check portals. So
I think you, Did you just want? Do you just want to do front to back here? Yeah, I think. Yeah, or go into Ellen in the front. I'm assuming you exit out the back, but I don't have the full map ahead of me. Yeah, back goes out in the red tower, which is where Tyrion is. So you're definitely leaving out the back.
yeah, I think that going up front to back is good. Yeah, for sure, it's like really good. It's the only reasonable play I think here.
Slight back and forth there, but yeah, ended up realizing this was where they wanted to be. So we have, one area left. It's going to be created in Ridley's lair. And yeah, the other thing, like, we were talking about earlier with, Fantoon killed on one side versus the other could be big, and then it didn't matter. And then, being able to kill Ridley in Wreck Ship first time for Nitro could have also been big, and that also kind of didn't matter, frankly, because of how the portal's laid out. So in the end, it came down to a little bit of being more thorough and a little bit of portal routing, both of which worked against Nitro. And also the third factor, which was getting the fast items, that also happened.
Yeah. Yeah, Nitro was more thorough with the like longer checks, but also missed a lot of like quicker checks along the way, and the quicker checks just happened to be like the good items, and the longer checks happened to be reserve tanks and E-tanks, so
This is like, it's like new route with no beams, but with screw attack. So honestly, I think screw attack might be better. Because what are the beams doing that screw attack isn't?
yeah. I mean, screw attack's way better. Like in that context, if you got like old route beam, there's like an argument for that being better, but yeah, without plasma, it just like doesn't do too much. Okay, so Nitro is going out the back of East Meridian. Does know where this goes, or at least should, I think this is his last portal.
No, actually, this is the last portal, and it's yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's being the last portal. You should still know where it goes, but hasn't seen this. It's
he hasn't seen it, but should know where it goes.
Probably still not going to get a high jump, but it's going to be right there next to it. But yeah, probably this works out a little better back to back for him because. Wait, can you get into? Yeah, you can get into red tower from West Meridian, so he's going to be doing back to back outlet.
Yeah, and I think that makes way more sense for Nitro too, because front to back is a lot less bad with the movement items that Audra has.
For sure.
Like you kind of have to either bomb jump or hypo jump if you're Nitro, and you probably have to kill all the pirates. Like, yeah, it's without screw you like have to use a bunch of ammo there. Pretty small.
Luckily, you don't need the ammo for the boss here, but yeah. Still. Slower rooms overall in a lot of ways. Like you're not doing the fast pillar spark, you're not screw attacking 3 pillars, you're doing a worse gravity jump in lava dive, you're doing slow worse room, you're slower in amphitheater. So yeah, way better here to do this way. But this goes to criteria. I'm a little interested by. Because
this routing
it will. This also goes to red tower, but I'm not sure it's better. It's.
I mean, I guess the other option was
It was
I mean, this is
pre-aqueduct to tube, and then red tower middle.
no. I think this is better.
You think it's better? It's
Yeah,
definitely.
I think this is
Especially
the.
without, like anything to get up West Meridian faster. Yeah, you're right.
I also think that that's actually the closest portal you can be to the middle of Red Tower.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that Audra's probably 5 minutes ahead. Maybe even a little more, actually.
Maybe 5 minutes ahead right now, but obviously still gonna save time for the rest of the run.
Yeah.
High jump and speed.
I mean, there's not much left, but basically Torian. So.
Yeah.
But we'll be saving time there, and extra ammo, and like a Zeb skip that Nitro doesn't have.
Yeah.
I do think the Nitro will be in Torian when Audra finishes, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there is
nice.
ice.
There's a Zeb skip.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that probably barely saves time on Audra's end just because of Metroid runes.
I mean,
Maybe
I
not
think
even
that
barely.
speed saves more time. Like, speed plus high jump just makes Audra's Torian better.
Yeah.
Because of baby skip and escape. Ice is good, though.
So, I think you sub hour this? Turn's not taking
Yeah,
9 minutes, especially
you do.
without the minute-and-a-half cutscene at the beginning. Even if you're power
It's
bombing.
actually kind of close. Not having ice does lose a little bit of time, but having speed and high jump saves a lot of time. So I think this will be like a 59.
Metro has been doing a good job with this. I mean, he's practically got low ice, lower Norfair.
Yeah.
Just has a wave beam to boot and a grapple that does nothing. This is like the one room where speed is like actually like really time saving in lower Norfair too. Like
It
in general,
actually is about equivalent, so it doesn't actually save time. It just saves ammo, which is why they do a new route.
Yeah. Second straight we're gonna see powerbomb Metroids. The thing you seeing at the beginning, power bombing and hitting 2 Rinkas at the beginning somehow tells the game to damage everything in the room. So
Yep.
you end up hitting all 3 in that room of the off-screen Metroids right again, and then as long as you double hit them with your second and third, you still only need 3.
Yeah, I think as it worked out, Audra kind of was vindicated here in not going back for that wave beam. Just we'll have enough ammo to not need it, basically, against Mother Brain.
Yeah.
And I don't really think there's anywhere else that they would have needed it.
That was actually quite the deboost, if unintentional. Went really far. See if we can get a no beam baby skip.
I wonder if Audra knows like how to use the power bomb here.
I want to say maybe, not that I've ever actually seen them do it, but definitely
looks
knows
like
about it for sure.
Just doing the beam does take a while.
It's like
but...
seeing the power bomb. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's hard, but like it also looks really cool.
Yeah. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely save time on baby skip, even if like you're taking a long time. As long as you don't mess it up. That's the thing.
Yeah. And then even uses one of the remaining power bombs there in the bramble room because without wave, you're shooting a lot. Not sure if that actually saves time because of the lag you create, but still kind of cool.
Mhm. And gets speed zap skip first try.
Yeah.
It's almost necessary to get that speed zap skip with how much time it saves.
Yeah. So much ammo saved in your 60 damage charge beam.
Mm-hmm. So I think that Audra has like one super and two missiles of leeway, before having to use charge shots. Let me think about that again. 36. Yep. 5 missiles of leeway. Is totally fine if they miss a super because they have charge. So it won't be a soft lock. It'll just be a time loss.
And as we said, Nitro, you're already coming into Turian.
Yep. I think 5 minutes might have been actually too much.
At the time, decently. Especially,
Yeah.
well, Ice Beam actually put a decent chunk into that, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is closer to 4-ish minutes.
This time, no stand-up. Just charge beam, no. Charge wave, yes. That's what we've learned today. While we were watching this one come to a finish, first thing we're gonna do is shout out our runners. Like we said, these were two of the top seeded runners in this tournament. Unfortunately, with a lower bracket meeting instead of where they could have been in the upper bracket, so there's an elimination happening today. But two good runners, both of them play a lot of randomizer. Obviously, like you said, Nitro newer to the scene, but definitely dove into the deep end and it's gotten good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give them a follow if you want. We have a few upcoming matches on the schedule. The soonest is tomorrow, starting at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. It's another losers matchup in this round. It's MM2 versus Aussie. Need some crew for that, so if you're around and you want to sign up for that, feel free. After that, we've got a Monday race scheduled. That's the first winter semis on the schedule. Slurs versus Derp, starting at 6 on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And the other race on the schedule is a lot farther out, so talk about that when it comes closer. But yeah, the matches are they're getting smaller in number because of advancing farther in the tournament. People are being eliminated, but that also means that the competition is getting stiffer and the races are getting more exciting, if that's possible. We've already had lots of crazy good matches.
I mean, I think that as of the second round of this tournament, the races have just been incredibly high quality. I'm not sure I would even say they're necessarily like higher quality now. There are just so many good runners that are in this tournament.
We'll say higher stakes then.
Yeah.
Especially in those winners bracket matches, like there are people who said it, but like the longer you stay in that winners bracket, the better off you are. Like obviously, like you said, everyone's really good, but like having to go through even more people and losers, not necessarily what you want.
I mean, it is better than like having it be single elim and you're just done when you lose. Obviously, like in that situation, you just like don't even get the second chance. But yeah, you definitely do want to win as many as you can because every win in winners puts you 2 rounds deeper in losers when you do lose. After the first round only puts you 1 round deeper, so.
Yeah, we were right about just barely coming in under here, sub hour. We had mid 59. So we'll see if our runners want to come in here and get in the interview. And yeah, we've got. I think this heat was definitely friendlier. Yeah, that's our first finish. Audra takes a series 2-0, which race time 59 minutes 28 seconds.
Yep.
Nitro is gonna finish this one out, but bit
GG
easier,
Dodra.
but still like not like I don't know. Well, it played out in a way where like obviously both runners could have done a little bit better, especially and Audra said this in the race time. The speed get was rather inefficient,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, didn't put them in like the trickiest of situations as far as what they had to do. Just I would have was so late, right? Like you got to it when you got to it, and you did what you did.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious what this race would have looked like if Nitro had found a third power bomb pack before East Meridian.
Yeah, yeah. The power bombs were not plentiful in the routes the runners took.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess that's something I'm a little critical of Nitro about. Was looking for portals instead of doing that bubble mountain. Because just looking at the portals, I don't know what you're looking for there. Like, just from the portals they had left. I think the best case scenario is you find like a West Meridian and you can check Mama Turtle. But otherwise. And we are joined by our winner, Audra. GG, Audra.
I thought the seats were kind of bad for me.
Yeah. I mean, the first one, worked out reasonably well. For, like, at the beginning, at least. I do want to ask you about, I guess your reasoning for going into Upper Norfair on 2 E-tanks so early there.
I forget the layout, but what door connected to it? It was
It was the Torian, Criteria Torian, I think.
It felt better than running across the East Criteria and potentially either finding no good doors there or getting walled on CWJ. Well, it probably might have had to find something. I don't remember the logical implications, but like there could have been a 30 tank a gauntlet for opening up Norfair more or whatever. So I just thought there's a lot of ways that I can lose like 5 minutes if I don't.
Yeah. I guess I also think there are ways that you can lose a lot of time doing. Oh, yep.
Like it's not a fun bubble mountain, right?
Yeah.
Did I get Varia right away?
Yeah, you did get Varia right away.
Okay. Hey, I couldn't remember. I like my practice seeds and my actual races are just bleeding together so much I can't remember.
But yeah, I think after that, the seed, I think everything that you did was, like, very kind of straightforward. It's just the seed was, like, really rough.
Like,
yeah.
It was your CF clip or underwater wall jump will, like, heavily advantage you. Like,
well, you can't even underwater wall jump because, Dragon was vanilla, so it wasn't even like
I don't know why I was thinking, yeah. Okay, so it was the CF clip.
Which Nitro did end up doing, but Nitro wasted a little bit too much time before doing that, and had a lot of trouble doing the RBO kill.
Yeah, we didn't have spring ball, right?
Nope.
Right, it was a plasma both seeds actually.
Yeah, like there were some conditions in which like I'd have been more incentivized to like go for one of the harder tricks because like I'm not consistent at them, but like if it's like super obvious I should do it, then I'll do it. But,
yeah, like in the second seed.
Like, yeah, the second seed was like I didn't really want to do it because I was still missing Varia, so it was like if I search more majors, then it's like I have a chance of getting Varia or Ice or Speed, and like all these things help me in some way. So we'll just go get majors instead. But
yeah, I think that the
first time.
I think that the routing would have worked out a little bit better, if you had been able to do the suit with CF clip there, just because like you already know both ends of East Meridian, that way you never have to come back to it.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not super confident with it, I think it's totally reasonable just to, like, leave it there.
Yeah, and then like the other part of that, there's like the wreck ship Ridley was so silly in the second game because it's like the only thing I didn't want to see the 1st time I was there. And then like when I went up the elevator at Business Center, I was like, okay, I think this basically has to be front of wreck ship and and then like front of Lower Norfair, and I guess I'll see if I can like spike ice or speed at the Ridley kill here because now I'm actually ready for it. And then that didn't quite happen.
Yeah.
So, like, you had the option, like when I got into Upper North for that second game, I had the option to do Bubble Mountain first, and I was just like, oh, that's slower because it's like my health isn't good enough for it to be like reasonably fast at this point. So we'll just go Business Center. Like if I spike Varia or if I spike ice or speed there, it's probably just a straight shot to the end of the game.
Yep.
If I spike something at Business Center, so it's like. I didn't want to do Bubble Mountain, but if you did do it and you got speed there earlier, like I got it very inefficiently. And you know, there's also just if you don't actually need it, which I think the good thing for me is that like just like actually having speed saved enough time that
yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, so it worked out in the end.
And like it was pretty important for you to find an ice or a speed because like. You didn't have any other beams than charge, so having a Zep skip was like really, really important to be able to like.
So I found ice at Fireflies, and I was like, okay, well I have enough stuff. I have enough majors that I didn't go check in the game that like it's not worth it. Like,
I agree with not checking it. I think that's 100% right for you not to check it there. I also think it's right for Nitro to check it because Nitro doesn't have a Zep skip yet, so. I think it made sense for both of you in that situation. But yeah, we are also joined by our runner-up today, Nitro. GG Nitro.
Hi, GG.
So, do you want to run us through how you felt about those 2 seeds?
I mean, the first seed is whatever, pretty much. Like, I was pretty much just losing that no matter what. With how it shaked out, like even before like the Meridia shenanigans, like by the time I found Varia suit, I was like, I pretty much knew it was over at that point. It's like I've full cleared up and down and had to leave the Ridley, and it's like a long ways back to it, and I was like pretty sure Audra would have gotten that, you know, in the first 15 minutes, just like based on what I'd seen. So I was like pretty convinced it was already over at that point, which was. So that's whatever. The second seed, I don't know. Like, there's things I could have done better, like the early game. I didn't need. I played it a lot safer than I probably needed to.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of extra time making sure I was like prepared for anything. But
I got why you did the croc there because you skipped grade. So like it let you prepare for the Ridley.
Yeah, because I was like on the edge where like if I got enough stuff I'd be able to do it, and I did like get to the point where I could have done it, but it just like took so much longer and I didn't like really get anything out of it.
Yeah, Audra skipped that croc, and I think that made sense from their position.
It was like borderline for me. It was really scary, especially with it being there. It's like you're never going back to that. But...
I think that a good middle ground there is the first item and leave, because I think that that's like it doesn't take that long. It's like I think a little under a minute check to get the first item, and then the second item is like an extra 2.5 minutes almost.
Yeah, what
the first time's a lot faster than the second.
What pushed me to want to keep going is because I was at 25 supers, so I just really wanted to find the last super pack.
And like some extra E would help for Ridley too, potentially. So.
Yeah, and it's the end, the Meridia. I don't know. I think it's really just like kind of unfortunate that nothing turned up power bombs.
Yeah, it really was like.
Yeah.
You getting to East Meridia when like I actually think that because of that, you should have probably gone into Bubble Mountain instead of searching portals, because I don't think there was a good portal for you in that situation.
Yeah, like that was the good portal, pretty much.
But, yep, and like you don't have 15 power bombs yet, so it's not like.
Yeah, what it could have been like, I definitely see what you mean. Like, just go to the items because you still need a third power bomb pack, and one of those items is like probably botch wound at this point.
Yep. Either
Um,
either you find a bot wound item very likely, or you find a power bomb
Yeah.
pack very likely. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think my thought is I'll just go to Croc now, and then if it's Main Street or Aqueduct, I'll, either go to Mama Turtle or look for a power bomb and use Meridia. But if it was not, then I would I don't know. I think part of the reason why I end up doing stuff like that too is because I often just kind of want to avoid Bubble Mountain when I have no movement items.
yeah.
Just find a single chamber from the other side. But then, of course, what ends up happening is, after checking everything, the power bomb finally shows up. The item right before speed. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting because Nitro, you were able to kill that Ridley the first time around at Wreck Ship. Audra did the same thing following back to front Wreck Ship. But wasn't able to kill Ridley, so had to reset and go back to Mama Turtle, and Mama Turtle was high jump, and then Audrey had all of the portal information basically after a couple of upper Norfair stuff where you were checking portals late in the game. So even though it looked like your route worked out kind of better because you got spit out at bubble or at Business Center off the front of Wreck Ship, you instead of going to the items, you just went to the portals first and got the portal information.
Yeah, I don't know. They're I see. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better to go to Bubble Mountain, of course. But there's all of the miners in Aqueduct, plus the chance that just ice or speed is in the sandpit. I was I just want to go there first, because if I clear all of Bubble Mountain and then still don't get it, then it's the same difference, but I'm further away. But it is, of course, more likely in Bubble Mountain.
Yeah.
I think Gauntlet was the only thing we didn't know that wasn't out of the way really slow there at the end for a Batsun item or whatever. But tough first seed for sure. That was my reputation is following me forever. This one was it was just the Norfair was late, so you just kind of did what you did.
Yeah, this one isn't a terrible seed, I don't think, per se, in terms of really slow or anything, but or a terrible logic chain.
It had enough wrinkles to be interesting.
What was that? Sorry.
It had enough wrinkles to be interesting.
And I think that's kind of what comes up a lot with these seeds, where most of them aren't we've gotten quite a few bad ones now, but most of them aren't that bad. There's just a lot of really interesting decisions to kind of be made in them. I think that especially the gravity early seeds are some of my favorites because you're I've said in a soft go mode where you're well, I don't really want to do anything too slow because I'm probably just going to be able to beat the game with whatever things I find. I just kind of want to go to the density of items at this point.
Yeah, gravity gives you more functional routing choices.
And it's also interesting because you kind of so you kind of have to balance that with also being prepared early, because you kind of also want to be able to do a Ridley if you find it. If you find a front of Wreck Ship, all of a sudden you want to be able to have the ammo and the health to do a Ridley. So even though you want to skip some of the longer checks, you also are kind of incentivized to try to get stuff early to be prepared for stuff like that. And I think it's kind of an interesting dynamic there. But...
Yeah, there's another interesting. There's another interesting sort of mechanic at play where it's there's some places that early-ish game you might have gravity or whatever, but you might still say no to going into a boss kill because you're just really underprepared for most things still. And the boss is far away. If it's Ridley, you're screwed, or find Ellen. But it's also you have to be careful not to not to chase like a portal location where like if the portal location is so bad and you don't want to follow that portal location, you have to try not to do things like that that'll screw you.
Yeah, finding kind of the middle path through the seed. There are decisions that are very risky with high reward that like normally won't work out or like really can punish you. And at least the way that I see it, generally it's better to try to kind of avoid those plays and look at like what's the consistent way to beat the seed kind of quickly. Because generally like if you find like let's say a front of East Meridia and you have like an Ice Beam and Gravity but you can't beat a Ridley, I normally like to like back out of that. But like, yeah, it's just like really complicated. There are so many factors at play that really make things different in like a lot of different situations. So it's like hard to say for certain that like, oh, this is the right play, because like there are situations where like it comes up and then it's the wrong play to like do what's normally right. So it's tough, but
yeah, I do practice seeds, and then like I screw up and have things go wrong, and then I just learn like new little exceptions. Like there's like tons of little exceptions to these rules that you should generally follow that I end up learning,
and that's what I like so much about these seeds. I think that these seeds reward just having played a bunch of them more than almost any other seed, because they're just like, I think that these settings create some of the most unique situations that happen in Super Metroid Randomizer, like some of the most different situations from the seed that you really need to like have the experience to be able to understand what makes something different from like something else and why to do something in one scenario where you're not doing it in another, kind of.
Yeah, like you have to really understand like what choices are going to potentially get you into one things, and then like figure out what risks are acceptable to you based on that. They're like oftentimes they're not really the risks that you thought you signed up for if you haven't like played it a bunch, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, this match was like this is the match that by seeding we were supposed to have in like winners round 3.
Yeah.
Or was it winners quarters?
Yeah, round 3.
Yeah, and like 4v5, and we both lost. Like losing in winners round 2 sucks in this format.
Yeah.
Like, so bad, and it's a long road ahead. But
yeah, I mean it's better than losing without the double elimination, because then you're just out. But like, yeah, you don't.
Stuff if I wasn't playing.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess yeah, it depends on your situation too, I guess. So.
But yeah, you're like if your goal is to like survive and win, then yeah, it is better than not having an extra chance. But this is still like scary to end up in, because I think Nitro is one of the best of like the most recent generation of players. And it's pretty crazy to see how good people are getting that like aren't like from forever ago. They don't have like they have experience for now, but they've had that experience in like a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, and even like people who have been around for a long time, like Cutie, have just like recently really grinded rando and like gotten really good too. Like there are people like that too. So I've said it before, I think that this is like by far the highest skill tournament I've ever seen in Super Metroid Rando. There's just like so many really good players that are really scary to see, and you can't dodge them. They're just gonna like show up like everywhere at round. Like it's just, yeah. But
I think Cutie has gotten into a lot of like prior SM Rando tournaments without like really knowing what he was doing. But he's always been like, you know, back in my mind, kind of scarier on the mat for me, because I raced Ocarina of Time Bingo with him like 10 years ago, and we were both pretty good at that, and like that uses a lot of the same parts of your brain to reasoning and stuff. So like he's always had it in him, and he's just like decided now is like when he's actually interested in exploring that stuff. Yeah.
I think the part of it is the different modes of Super Metroid Rando now compared to what it used to be. With it was basically always like major, minor, vanilla map, like
Yeah, maybe
nothing really
that interesting to him.
Yeah, like because that's largely like a up or down red tower kind of play. Like makes or breaks your seed. Like there aren't that many decisions. There are still some. I think that like the ammo stuff in vanilla map is the most interesting part of it. But outside of that, yeah, there's not like that much going on, at least in comparison to like area. And specifically, I think in comparison to these settings, like I think there are other area settings where it's more about like I don't know, it's a lot more straightforward. Where you're like,
there's different settings that like it emphasizes different things, and like you
mm-hmm,
should know that different decisions are weighted way differently. And I
yep,
think that's something that I had a good grasp on that without having to play a ton of seeds of like every single mode. That's what I
mm-hmm,
felt. So I felt like I was really strong in like the multi-category kind of format.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, this mode is like probably one of the best as far as like getting some of those aspects from every other. It has a bit of everything from every other kind of mode, mostly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that like there are a couple of things that I really like about this mode, like the suitless LN, the like potentially being able to skip a Baboon item. I really like that it like turns off wreck ship, basically, in a lot of seeds, because I think the wreck ship is the worst thing about Super Metroid Rando. It's just like really slow items, like or like a lot of times when wreck ship is on, you're getting it on the way to the boss where the items are a lot less bad at that point. Um, and like and it like kind of slows the seed down because there's potential for like these items that you want, like gravity suit, let's say. There's potential for it to like be at the top of a wreck ship with Fantoon and Lord Warfare. And like so it makes possible plays like going into Suitless Meridia, where like in normal circumstances maybe that's too slow. Because like you're always going to like be able to find the items. In this case you're not like necessarily going to be able to find the items in a timely manner. So I think it like really incentivizes these more interesting plays as well, and I really like that too. But
I actually still really like vanilla map, but I think that's probably an unpopular opinion. But like back when that was the main thing, I felt like a game of like predicting what your opponent would do given the set of items you got in Brinstar, and see what advantages you got from which side of the coin flip you made, and then like try and capitalize on those. And it was kind of luck based, but I felt like there was a lot more to it than the coin
I do
flip.
think there was more to it than people gave it credit for. I agree. Like I mean, that's where I got into Super Metroid Rando 2, and I got really into it as well. So if I didn't like think there was merit to that as well, I wouldn't have gotten into that. So
yeah, I kind of miss it, but yeah, we've been talking about like theory for like forever, so
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I guess one more thing I'll say is thanks to Fishing Brew for tracking, because tracking these is more difficult than it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got breast next in to make it in the top 8, which is somehow somewhat of a similar situation to last year's tournament. It's just you're in the lower bracket, so more matches in front of you. But yeah, tough opponent as always.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I hope he just completely beefs it, because if he doesn't, then he might win. And I kind of want to win, so yeah, no, it should be fun to meet up again. Yeah, did we play? I don't remember what modes we played.
I know the first one was a full countdown seed. I don't know if it was the one. Well, I guess both of the full. I don't know if it was vanilla map or not, but I think not. So I don't know if
I
that
thought
one
it
was
was
1 or 7. And then I don't remember what game 2 or game 3 were, frankly.
maybe no, it was area, wasn't it? Because yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the first game I lost to him last year, I was like shocked I lost that game because I thought I played it really well.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, yeah, you earned it.
Yeah, Bressa's really impressed me, especially like especially in the Chozo modes, because I think the Bressa's like movement is where he's got really, really solid mechanics there. Especially when he's got like a high jump speed kind of an item set.
Mhm.
I think that he's really scary though, like in this mode too. But what I like about Bress is he like really soaks up information when like you talk to him. So he learns things really fast. Where some other people like take a bit longer to learn. But yeah. I think that is a scary matchup, even though he's the 19 seed, which is kind of crazy.
He only did 2 qualifiers, and like he went into qualifier 8, if I recall, without like that was his second one, so he knew going into it he didn't have a safety net, and he had to play it kind of worse as a result. So that's why.
But yeah, I think that we've been talking for a long time. I will give Nitro one more chance to just like say what you want about like now that you're out of the tournament, your kind of impressions of the tournament, and anything else you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great tournament. You know, I love all the matches going on. I was very happy to be a part of it. You know, of course, I would have liked to win a little bit more, but it's just how it goes. It's all good. And yeah, good luck to Audra and everybody else still in. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch how this all plays out.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out. You probably had like the worst 5 seed in the history of any tournament. Like, obviously, you were really good and capable of beating everyone you faced against, but like the matchups and like that part of the bracket were just brutal. Like, everyone was so good.
Yeah, I mean, not many people have a good path in this tournament. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
can say they've had easy matches. Yep, and yeah, anyway, that's all from me. GG's everybody, and thanks of course for the restream, commentary and tracking and all that. And yeah.
Okay, then I think with that, that'll do it from us. Thanks again to Audra and Nitro for putting on an excellent performance. Thanks to Fishing Boo again for tracking. Trackers are the real MVP. Thanks to D-Web for commentating with me. And I've been Zeb316, your commentator, and we will see you next mission.